All right, let's go. Get some fun today on an action-packed Taco Tuesday.
Where are we going? Hey, COVINO here, ready for some tacos, ready for 2 hours of fun.
What's up, brother?
Rich brought the tacos. I'm bringing the fun from Jersey. The rest of the crew.
Tuesday!
LeBron, Dan Byer, Danny G, Sam, everybody else, Spotty. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, if you miss any of today's show, man, you're going to miss out because we're bringing the fun. Did I mention we're bringing the fun?
Oh, yeah.
Super fun time. But if you miss anything, you want to catch the podcast, search COVINO and Rich wherever you stream. But, Rich, like we always do about this time, we got to rock it out and let's go.
I'll be honest, sort of a day where nothing's blowing up my skirt. Nothing's got me that excited about the world of sports, so I don't want to dig for too much. We got some funny stories, though.
Hello. Is someone not wearing a softball champion T-shirt today?
I mean, that's the hottest story in town.
Probably.
Softball champions of the Valley. I mean, come on.
I bet you there's some guys on your team that could probably be better than the Yankees right now. So anyway.
The parade is going
down
Ventura Boulevard. There's a parade Monday morning at 10 a.m. Ventura Boulevard. It starts at the new Five Guys.
It ends at Balboa, right by that Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, perfect. Can't wait.
And Rich is the grand marshal of the parade. Yeah. So, again, it's COVINO and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Looks like we're doing 4 shows next week in for Dan Patrick, so make note of that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's the segmented, extended Dan Patrick Hall. So it's not the hat trick. We're doing 4 shows next week. So make note of that. But happy to be here, like always. And again, if you got things to do, we understand. Catch the podcast later. And make sure to follow, rate, and review. Give us 5 stars because anything less is uncivilized. Now, every Tuesday, we also play a game. Showtime Mahomes Trivia. But I heard that Mahomes is live from Chiefs training camp. We'll see if he can make it. Yeah. But we will give away some prizes for sure on this show. Plus, we got to talk Bo Nix.
Oh, there's a Bo Nix story that I think should get Denver fans excited. It should get Denver excited.
And we got to start off where we left off. Now, the number, 877-99 on Fox. Let's get everybody involved. The most inclusive show on radio. Happy to be here. COVINO and Rich. Yesterday, we started talking about the Portland Pickles, but I feel like that was perfect because we let the story simmer a little bit. We let everyone have a chance to see it, hear about it, and make their own decision. And I want to ask you, first and first mostly, Fox Sports Radio Nation, was this a staged story or not? Because that seems to be the debate here. Instead of thinking automatically, wow, how cool, we automatically think, that's got to be BS, that's got to be staged. But even if it was, let's say, staged, wasn't it pretty awesome? That's really my spin on it here. The Portland Pickles, and Rich, you described them as like a collegiate summer league.
Yeah, it's college D1 players that play during the summer to stay fresh. And, yeah, the Portland Pickles.
Portland Pickles gave a random fan a chance to get in the game, and apparently history was made because people are raging about this. They gave a random fan an at-bat for Fan Appreciation Night. So in sort of a Savannah Bananas fashion, they're like, hey, you lucky fan, you get to play with the Pickles tonight. And
that's what she said.
His name, by the way, Eli Stenhouse.
Really?
You get to play with the Pickles tonight?
Yeah.
Well,
Eli Stenhouse, because they keep calling him
however
Dixie.
You want to pronounce
I don't know why they keep calling him Dixie in the
that's,
social media viral
That's
clips.
his nickname.
Oh, what's his last name? Normus? So, what's his name again, Danny G, just so I can give him proper credit?
Eli Dixie Steinhaus.
Eli Steinhaus. Now, let me set it up.
Yeah.
So, Steinhaus gets in here. They're like, you, Steinhaus, random fan. And he's like, yo, no way. And he reacts like anybody would being picked out of a crowd. Like, me? No way. But he turns on the showmanship. Takes an at-bat, and he gets a walk, Rich. And he has his sneakers on. That's important. Has his sneakers on. He's just a fan. Gets a walk, and then he steals a base. And maybe he stole a taco. I don't know. On a Tuesday. But the crowd's like, no way. This is awesome. And he leans into it, and he's doing, like, his Hulkster thing. Like, yeah. Flexing. He waves up the crowd. Then they throw him in the outfield. They throw him in left field, and he makes a pretty easy fly ball catch, a little shag out there. And people are like, yeah, no way. Now, automatically I'm thinking, what do you mean no way? If you're a relatively decent athlete, or if you have just minimal baseball experience, it's not that crazy to think the guy shags a fly ball. It's just cool to see. I get it.
If this guy's between the ages of 18 and 30, do we know how old he is? Because I was going to say, regardless, if he played any type of organized baseball or softball in the last couple years of his life, shagging a fly ball, not a tricky thing to do.
I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying if you have any baseball experience, it's not impossible.
I mean, I'm saying it is easy, man. To catch a fly ball, a routine fly ball in the outfield, if you have any level of baseball know-how, like that's not a hard thing to do.
But then, Rich, he gets one more at bat.
Here's where it gets good.
They leave this fan appreciation night. They leave this fan in for one more at bat. Yeah. This is like everybody's fantasy at a major league game, right? Like the Yankees are so frustrated. Boone's like, you. And I'm like, me? Like, yeah, you. Get on the mound. You're like, what? This guy gets another at bat, and listen to what happens.
Payoff pitch. High fly ball. Left center field. Are you kidding me? 4 letters, 1 word.
Wow.
By the way, that's a collegiate league. That's a great call.
Yeah, that
4
guy.
letters, 1 word. Is that really what he says? 4 letters, 1 word. Gone. This dude hits a home run as a fan who just entered the game, and the crowd goes nuts, and the rest is history. Again, Eli Steinhaus. They called him Dixie, so Dixie delivered. Now, the story goes viral. It's all over social media. The crowd went wild. The call was great. The moment was awesome. But everyone's saying that this Portland Pickles thing was staged. Even if it was, you can't guarantee a home run in that moment. You think it's that easy to just hit a home run? But is it impossible that it was just a fan who has a good swing? Rich, if they picked you out of the stands, you're good enough to hit one out if you get a hold of one. It's not impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm here to say, I'm Steve Covino. I believe that clearly this kid had baseball abilities. He had skills, maybe even better than the team he was watching, but he's a baseball fan. It's not crazy to think a baseball fan has some ability. I think they picked a dude who was pretty good, and he had a really awesome moment. I don't believe it was staged.
I mean, I don't know if it was. You can't stage a home run.
You can't. You can't guarantee that.
But however, I do think that maybe they're like, all right, we're going to put this kid in. He could play. Again, this is collegiate summer ball. It's competitive, but if you played at a level, like I said, there's a chance you can make contact if he knows a fastball's coming. I think it's a great, fun story, but I think what you said is even more interesting. What are those fantasies we all have? Because anytime you've been at a stadium and you grab a baseball and it's one of those displays where it's like, see how fast you could throw. I always, as a kid, was like, what if they see me and they're like, he's got perfect mechanics. And they're like, hey, the Mets bullpen coach wants to talk to you. Or honestly, I'll give you a sleazy one. Every time you're at like, an adult establishment, you would assume like, yeah, she's in love with me. Like this,
Well, remember that time the Hawaiian Tropics bus broke down? They needed an oil boy.
Yeah, and I sent them to the town. I sent them to the town a couple miles up the road.
Yeah, you blew that opportunity.
I mean, that's everyone's like. If you're an extra on the set and you're an actor, or if you're an aspiring actor or actress and you're on the set, you're wishing that like I don't know, Scorsese makes eye contact with you and they're like, wait a minute.
Okay,
you kid, you're the one.
Hold on. For all the naysayers, and by the way, you could share your fantasy. That's fine. 877-99 on Fox. But for all the naysayers that are quick to say this is a stunt, like Rich said, to guarantee a home run, that's not a guarantee.
If it's a stunt, if it's a stunt, it was a really well executed stunt.
Okay, then how do you explain this? I think you're putting these players on the team on a pedestal and forgetting that other people have a particular set of skills. This guy could be a decent baseball player. How do you explain Dave Grohl's on stage and he's performing.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you play? And the kid's like, yeah. And he gets up there and he shreds. He gets up there and he shreds because he plays. You think that's staged? Why are we putting these people on a pedestal like they're gods and we can't like have any skill of our own to hold our own?
I know what you're saying. We didn't pick a kid out of the crowd and be like, all right, guard LeBron James. Like it wasn't that. Dan Byer, what do you think, man?
Well, first of all, like for a 9-year-old to have like front row tickets to the Foo Fighters, there's got to be something. Like, of
you
course,
can play
the kid,
drums, kid.
Yeah,
but
like
that happens all the time.
Yeah,
man.
because it's totally staged. That's why. Yes,
No.
yes, because it is.
No, it's
it
not.
is.
Beyonce-
You think they're gonna put the kid
Beyonce-
up there and have him stink?
Dan, Beyonce brings up some girl to harmonize. You don't think they've gone over this?
Yeah, right. Oh my
Dude,
goodness.
No, not all the time. There's often times at rock shows they'll see some dude singing his heart out the whole time. They may even hold a sign up. They'll be like, yo, I want to come up and play with you. And the artist will be like, can you play? And they'll be like, yeah, I can play. All right, let's see what you got. And they turn it out because they could play. Just like this guy could play baseball. He got a hold of one. It was a cool moment.
This is the Barry Bonds steroid argument, right? Like, you could take as many steroids, HGH, whatever you wanted, but you still have to hit the baseball.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I think Covino is trying to say.
It is, Dan. And you know what? I have one last point, and I do want to talk to everybody. Was it staged or not becomes the debate here and your other fantasies. But if you really dissect that at bat, they weren't trying to give him a meatball. They were trying to strike this kid out. They were trying to pitch around him. Watch back the clip. I watched
the
pitch
ball he
count.
hit a home run on seemed like a 70-mile-an-hour down the middle fastball. I'm not saying I'm hitting it out, but I'm just saying it's not like this collegiate summer league. Someone threw some Adam Wainwright, 12-6 breaking ball that was that buckled
But
them.
Rich, I'm not debating that this kid was a good ball player.
Yeah, no
That's
doubt.
obvious,
Yeah.
right? But is it impossible that a good ball player was just a fan at the game?
No,
Why is that impossible?
Listen, I was arbitrarily picked once, and I said this, and I was not in on it. I was not like in the media at the time. It was like, we picked Rich Davis. I was a college kid, and I had the chance to shoot 3-pointers during a TV timeout in the Carrier Dome up at Syracuse. Every 3-pointer was like $100. And I have told the story, and I was honest, where I airballed the first one because I had never shot a basketball with a clear backboard with 20,000 people in an arena. I hit a couple. I think I walked away with like $300 or $400. I got hot for a second, but then cold again. If they would have accidentally picked like some kid that played high school basketball, I get what you're saying. You could
That's what I mean.
arbitrarily pick a winner.
So just because a guy shows a little bit of skill level, that means it's staged? Or no, that dude, they picked a dude who was a fan. He's at the game, and he actually is pretty good. That's not an impossible thought. And then again, like you say, you people are throwing the word staged out there like it's so easy to just come up there and hit a home run.
Can I
out of
ask
nowhere.
you? Can I ask you a real question? And it's a little dirty, so pardon me if you got kids in the car.
I mean, I would expect nothing less from
I would
Rich
say-
Smut Davis.
I was Sam just looked at me and gave me like the Matumbo, like no, like
Be
watch
careful.
out.
Be careful, Rich.
Let's just say you're scrolling around some inappropriate. Let's say you stumbled across some inappropriate content on the internet, Covino,
Okay, it's happened.
and it's so and so with a fan. Do you believe some of those women will like film with a fan, or
do I believe it? Yes.
or do you think it's like a professional, but he's calling himself a fan for the video?
No, I mean, I believe there are staged moments like that, for sure.
Like when
but I also believe that
some
they do
buses
that.
that were driving down the block, it's like, hey kid, want to get in the bus with these ladies? Like, do you think that kid is arbitrarily on the street?
Well, a lot of those are staged. There's no question about that. That's just the gimmick, right? Like, hey, we're picking people up. Today's your lucky day. Yeah, right. A lot of that's staged. But I do believe that there are times that they throw offers out there to fans. How about the cash cab? You think that's always staged? Let's hit up our guy, Ben Bailey.
I do remember that show, and he said it wasn't. He said they would randomly pick people. Dan Byer, you're a great golfer. Is great a good word? Could I
No.
say? Could I? But Dan, if you were covering,
That's why I was silent.
if you were covering some big golf tournament for Fox, which I'm sure you have over the years, Dan Byer, big shot here at Fox Sports. DB, if they were like, hey, we're going to do a media contest for $10,000 and we pick a name out of the hat From Fox Sports, Dan Beyer. Do you think you could hit a putt in the pressure situation? Would we be shocked? Or you think you'd that's possible?
It's doable. Like in this situation,
it's a great
the
example,
kid hit
by
a
the way.
bomb. Like it wasn't cheap. It wasn't just over the left field.
It wasn't a Bartolo Colon just throwing the bat out.
It was a shot. And so that's like the part, and I'm gonna get to your question. But like for Covino to think that they're just gonna put some 62-year-old with arthritis in his knees as the fan of the game, that's not going to happen. You want the fan to be able to do something, and he did something extraordinary. I don't know how you could stage a home run, but I think that you pick someone that can be fun, because that's what these minor league, summer league, baseball leagues are all about.
So you're saying they may have knew the possibility was there?
Yeah, they knew that the kid didn't stink, just like they knew that the 9-year-old can play electric guitar at the concert. But at the Ryder Cup in 2016 in Minnesota, a fan was heckling the European team, and they called him out. And they said, all right, $100, you make this putt. Justin Rose, I even think you could probably see the video, put $100 down. Said, all right, $100, if you make this putt, it's yours. The guy came out. If it doesn't go in the hole, it's 40 feet past. But it went in. It was cooking, and everybody went nuts. That, to me, is the randomness of it, in a spur-of-the-moment thing. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that this level of athlete that was playing in the game I don't think that was a coincidence.
It was random, but not.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'll give you an example. I don't want to kill the illusion of all of our hopes and dreams, but I've been in the audience on The Price is Right. Before The Price is Right, they go to every audience member, and they're like, hey, tell me your backstory. Tell me about your life. Tell me a fun fact. They interview everyone. It's not arbitrary. Come on down. The late, great Rod Roddy, it wasn't picking out of a hat. It was, oh, Dan Beyer, he's here with his family in town, and you have a fun fact about you. They are finding interesting people in the crowd. So it's not arbitrary when they say this
energetic people.
Yeah, so I agree. It's
that's called the pre-screening, man.
Hey.
It's still sort of random. They're just doing a little bit of due diligence.
I'm talking to three guys here. Sorry, I just want to make this point. Three guys, if you would take requests, how legitimate are requests in radio?
Not at all. Hey, I'll try to. Hey,
Danny?
Hey,
Danny?
Can I give you my favorite line that I said for 20 years? Hey, I'll try to get that on for you.
Yeah, right? Right? Oh, you want the most popular song in America? You got it. We only play it 3 times an hour already, but you know what? It's going to be coming up later on.
That's the funniest thing. Can I hear Taylor Swift? You know what you could always say? Yeah, we'll get that on for you.
Yeah. Way to ruin the secret, Dan Beyer.
Right?
But hold on. I do have one last little nugget for the story, and I want to hear from everybody. Again, we're talking about the Portland Pickles and Eli Steinhaus, who was the random fan on Fan Appreciation Day that went yard in dramatic fashion. The crowd went nuts. It became such a story, I'm assuming most of you saw it, scrolling, doing the bowl scroll, that the club offered him a contract. Now, I read that it was a one-day contract, but I saw the video. The video made it seem like they gave him a contract for the end of the year, till the end of the year, and he accepted. So that's where the story ended as far as I know. But was it staged or not is the question.
I think it's a great story.
It's funny, man.
Regardless of whether it's staged or not. But, again, whether
Oh, by the way, you know why people think it's staged too, Rich? Because when they see the clip of the home run, he's wearing cleats. That's why I pointed out before that he was wearing sneakers in his first at-bat. But it's like, is it that hard to believe that they gave him a pair of spikes in the clubhouse? Because in the second at-bat that he takes, he's wearing cleats.
I think if you put 100 guys of his level of talent up there, only a couple will get lucky and rise to the occasion and hit a home run, even if it's a fastball down the middle.
If that was Jazz Chisholm, you're not guaranteeing a home run. He only hit 3 in the home run derby.
Right. That's
you know what else is funny, too? He comes out there in shorts because, again, he's just a fan. He's like, hey! And he steals second and slides in his shorts. He put on a show for the fans. It was kind of funny to see.
Not even joking when I say this. If this kid is a ball player that played at some collegiate level or, maybe he got scouted in high school, never made it, just a dude that knows how to play ball, do you think this is a window to a bananas tryout?
I do. Yeah, I thought about that. I showed the clip to my parents, and they said the same thing.
Maybe
very bananas-like.
Yeah, maybe the passion level, and he seems like a charismatic young dude. Maybe maybe this gets him a tryout with the Savannah Bananas.
I think so. Yeah, he's got to learn how to do a cartwheel or a flip or get some skills on stilts. But, yeah, I think it earns him a tryout for sure. It'd be a good story.
If he's real, I just got off the phone with the Portland Pickles front office, and nobody there can give me this guy's contact information. They were like, I don't know. This just feels very minor league baseball, where this is what they do to get attention.
Hello,
yeah, you know what?
Hello, Pickles. Yeah, it's Danny G.
Sam heard me talking to them.
You know, that is true, and it's a shame. That's why we bring it up. It's a shame that we have to always approach every fun story from a skeptic standpoint, because everything's an attention grab or an attempt to get likes on social media.
Yeah. This is what you thought
viral.
about. This is what you thought, Covino, about the Browns photographer supposedly falling in the water.
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know what? This is staged. I did think that was staged because everything, unfortunately, is used as a way to go viral.
You know what? I'm going to take the approach I like, which is I want to believe it. I want to believe an alien walked in front of a Ring doorbell in Compton. I want to believe that Rudy really was carried off the field like that. Don't ruin it for me, Joe Montana, and your facts.
Did you see that alien in Compton?
Yeah, I want to believe in it, Danny. I'm telling you, it's so much more fun to believe it. That's what I'm saying. It's more fun. I agree. Like every time a story comes up, skepticism is, as you say, Covino, the lead vibe.
But even if staged, they pulled off one of the coolest, what would you even call this?
Stunts
in a long time that we've seen in years, because everything has to go perfect.
I've seen the opposite, and the opposite sucks. Danny, how many times have you been to a Lakers game, or I'm sorry to say a Clippers game, or some game where they're like, at halftime, we're going to have this person shoot, or we're going to get people, if you could do a layup, a free throw, and they're just a hopelessly terrible athlete.
Yeah, they can't even make a layup.
Covino and I were in Vegas once, and I won't throw the sponsor under the bus, but we did an event where they flew us out to Vegas to host this cool event, and it was with NBA legend John Sally. They set up this whole big-ass setup for a fan to take $1 million shot, right? And when I tell you, Danny, this $1 million shot was throw it over a volcano, over a car 100 yards away, and then they hand the basketball to some little old lady. And I'm like, what are we even doing here? Covino, do you remember that? Like, it was.
I do.
It was
yeah.
I was like, this is the. If they give it to a young kid and it was a half-court shot, that's fair. Make it fair. Make it fun. And I like this story a lot. It's a good one. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, forget chasing
Pickles.
Forget chasing MJ as the big whale we want for an interview on the air. I'm not going to rest until I get Dixie on the show.
Yeah.
Dixie. Yeah, I was going to say, Danny, crossed off Stallone and Jordan and all our other wish list guests. Tom Brady. No. Dixie.
Dixie from the Pickles.
All right. Well, hey, we got a lot coming up here on Covino and Rich. I have an interesting offer for you, my friend. I want to see if Covino is down for an offer I think he can't refuse, and it has to do with his Yankees. We'll explain. Plus, is Bo Nix the next big thing in the NFL? Well, somebody big in the NFL thinks so. So we'll talk a bunch of NFL all next right here, Covino and Rich.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it. Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it. You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins. If
the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
All right. The world famous Covino and Rich show returns. We get to your phone calls and feedback next. Plus, we give away prizes. Showtime Mahomes trivia. Broke Mahomes live from Chiefs training camp. Right now, live from Fox Sports Radio studio. I'm here in Jersey, Rich, and the rest of the crew back on the west side.
What are you meeting to give Boone a pep talk or something? What are you going?
I was going to ask Danny G if he got Eli Dixie Steinhaus on the phone because I think the Yankees could use that guy better than anything they're doing, I'll tell you that. But remember, with iHeartRadio's app, you can stream us wherever you happen to be. Catch all the Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search Fox Sports Radio in the app and stream us all day. Make us number one on your presets, number one in your heart, Covino and Rich. The number, 877-99 on Fox. Before we talk about Bo Nix, let's wrap up the phone calls. Was this Portland Pickles story where the random fan hits a home run, was it staged or not, or what are your thoughts?
I think it could be staged, but also an amazing coincidence that the guy delivered. It could have very well been like, yo, he looks athletic. Oh, he struck out.
Okay, so you and I actually do disagree because I believe that they did pick a fan.
You think it was arbitrary as could be?
But they picked the fan who could actually play, and I don't think that's impossible to believe.
Okay, that's not. Our buddy Mike in Cincinnati said Covino probably also believed. This is a great old school reference if you watched wrestling. Remember the wrestler Earthquake?
Yeah.
Remember how he started? Jimmy Hart picked like just a fat guy in the stands, and he's like, "You," and then it was like a plant the whole time. Like he became a heel. Not everything's staged, but maybe this was. Let's go to Pat in Pennsylvania. Hey, Pat.
How you guys doing? Just wanted to share a story. I played a 3-inning game in Camden Yards with Scott McGregor, a former Major League pitcher, throwing pretty fast. And I'm a 40-year-old guy, hit one off the wall. So, and a bunch of people actually did well. No one hit it over, but it was a regular baseball game. We all played the field. So hitting a ball out, is probably quite doable.
Not to kiss ass, but you know who we should probably ask later? Our boss. I don't know if he wants it out there, but he's done like fantasy camp, like where former big leaguers pitch against you. You take swings, and I'm sure some of those guys that if you got the money and time and you are in shape enough to go to like a professional Major League Baseball fantasy camp, you don't think some of those 30, 40, 50-year-old guys could still rip the ball?
I do. I think we're giving way too much credit to they're still mere mortals, and these are collegiate athletes.
Yeah.
They just picked a dude who was good, if not better.
Yeah, okay. It's a great point. Let's say hi to Eric in Illinois. Eric, you're on, buddy.
Hey, good afternoon. Good show.
Thanks, man. Always trying our best. What's up, man?
You do good enough. When you brought up the fact that he was given a contract, when I was a kid, and I'm 73, the Cardinals, if you caught a foul ball, that you were supposed to hold it up, and then the ushers would, of course, come over and check to see if you're okay. But they would offer you a workless, but a contract with the Cardinals for catching the foul ball. And I just always thought that was cool.
That is pretty cool. By the way, I love his endorsement. We're good enough.
I was going to say, Danny, I was actually going to text you. New production. Covino and Rich. They're good enough.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty fitting. I'll take it. I like it. I appreciate that. And by the way, I do think that's pretty cool. It's like Rich Davis and myself, we're both Lords of Scotland. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
True story. Because we actually own 1 foot, right? 1 foot.
We both own
1 square
foot of property in a field somewhere in Scotland.
So we're official lords.
By definition, if we own a square foot of land, we have a card that says we are Lords of Scotland.
Wow. Sounds like a bad
It's
morning
official.
show bit.
I'm an official Duke of Hazard, Kentucky. Seriously, I've got it's one Z, but I've got the proclamation.
Well,
as is my wife and son.
Speaking of, you said the Duke of Hazard. Coincidentally, today is the 20th anniversary. 20 years ago today in 2005, Jessica Simpson came out in those Daisy Dukes. Just a little timestamp. That was 20 years ago. The remake of Dukes of Hazzard, which is damn time's flying.
Coincidentally, I spent extra time in the bathroom today. It was a whole other story.
Oh, that was a Duke of Hazzard.
It's a Taco Tuesday, bro.
Let me hit you up with something. Then we'll go to Dan Byer for an update. I'm going to pose a question. I'm
Yeah.
going to let you simmer. I'm going to let you think about this, and then we'll go get Dan's update.
You mean Duke of Hazard, Kentucky, Dan Byer?
Yes, the Duke.
Thank you. It's in my Twitter profile, by the way.
So, Cove, we made a bet in the beginning of the season. $1,000, whoever had the better record, Mets or Yankees. And then we upped the ante, $100 additionally for each game that the team is better. So let's just say the Yankees had a 15-game better record than the Mets. That's $1,500. No, I'm sorry. That's $2,500. If they're 3 games better, $1,300. As of right now, with 50 games to go, the Mets have been playing not great.
But like I said earlier, they're losing. The Yankees are losing in dramatic, unbelievable, embarrassing fashion. Like, you can't write it worse than they're playing right now.
Well, much like our good friends at DraftKings or all the great gambling sites out there, they give you payout options. If you're
you're trying to do like a deal or no deal with me?
If you get, let's say you have a 6-leg parlay and you've hit 4 of them, they'll be like, hey, if you want to cash out now, here's the offer. So the Mets are up 3 games on the Yankees.
Trying to cash you out, bro.
The Mets are up 3 games on the Yankees. I'm going to give you the chance right now. Because if the season ended today, you would owe me $1,300. I'll give you the best bud discount. Since we've known each other for years, I'll kick off $500. If you want to end the bet now, $800.
I don't feel like that's a solid deal.
Don't
I feel
do
like
it.
the banker's ripping me off. You're only up 3 games. You're up 3 games. You're not really cutting me a deal. If you said $400, that might be like, deal. I'm out of it because the Yankees suck. But like, you're only up 3 games. You're overly confident to even think that's a deal.
I thought I was being very generous.
I don't know. I don't think your team is all that good. I know my team's better. They just have like a curse on them or something. I don't know. A hex on them.
All right, so no deal.
Well, let me think about it for a minute.
You know what?
Jeez.
Go open another suitcase then. Let's go to Dan Byer for an
Oh,
update.
there he is, the Duke. What's up, buddy?
Duke, what's up, bud?
Covino had a deuce of hazard. Is that what you called it earlier?
Deuce of hazard.
All right, we got a bunch of news in the NFL. All corners of the NFL.
Yep.
Shedeur Sanders is going to start at quarterback for the Browns in their preseason opener coming up Friday against the Panthers. Other quarterbacks on the roster, dinged up. Joe Flacco's a veteran. He's not going to play, so it goes to Shedeur Sanders. Of course, the team signed Tyler Huntley yesterday. Colts head coach Shane Steichen says Anthony Richardson is going to start against the Ravens Thursday and play into the second quarter. He'll be relieved by Daniel Jones, who will finish out the first half. Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals, told Up and Adams that Joe Burrow and other starters will play this weekend against Philadelphia, and they can expect to play even more in their Week 2 preseason game against the Commanders. Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon says their starters will play Saturday against the Chiefs. And Raiders head coach Pete Carroll, who faces his former team, the Seahawks, says their starters will play in that preseason opener on Thursday. Free agent quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is signing a deal with the Buccaneers, while the Rams and running back Kyron Williams came to terms on a 3-year extension worth $33 million. Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison suspended 3 games following his DUI arrest in 2024. Because he violated the NFL substance abuse policy, he'll miss games in Week 1 against the Bears, Week 2 against the Falcons, and Week 3 against Cincinnati. And 49ers center George Kittle broke the news today on the NFL Network, but the league has now released a statement that they have banned smelling salts and ammonia inhalants for the 2025 season. So no more of those camera shots from the sidelines. Yankees activated Aaron Judge from the injured list. He'll DH tonight against Texas. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, the NFL is such king of all sports. Dan, did you see the ratings for that Hall of Fame, rando game?
I missed it. I did not see them.
7 million viewers for a preseason game that no one cared about, which leads me to believe this Friday night game where you get to see the debut of Shedeur Sanders. Who would have ever thought maybe a Browns-Panthers preseason game would get any ratings? People will watch.
But I don't think it's a national broadcast. That's the only thing, though. I think it'll just be in those local markets. Don't quote me on that, but I think it'll only be locally.
And you said they added Huntley to the mix, huh?
Yeah, so make it 5.
Is Kevin Stefanski going to hand out roses like The Bachelor? Like, you get to stay around this week? Like, what are 5 quarterbacks now? 6? All right,
they might choose a random fan, I heard.
Yeah,
to jump in.
Really quick, DB, it is listed as NFL Network, but I don't know if that's still going to be regional.
There's an NFL, yeah, I'm not sure either. Could be it's NFL Plus on some of the sites where it may be streamed live and maybe replayed later that you'll see, but
Dan, quick follow-up on that George Kittle story. Why are they banning smelling salts? Like, what's the point? What was the problem? Or like, what's the reasoning behind this?
The NFL's Head, Neck, and Spine Committee recommended prohibiting the use because the FDA noted potential negative effects. They have the potential to mask certain neurological signs and symptoms, including some signs of concussion as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Could Dexter still use them when he's waking up his victims before he stabs them? Could he? Okay.
Jeez.
Okay, I just want to make sure he can. Thank you, DB. We got more Covino and Rich. We're going to get to the NFL. Speaking of which, Bo Nix, is he the next big deal? Well, some people think so. We'll explain next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan. I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it. You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports, and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over. And then
Speaking of the Foo Fighters, thank you, Sam. By the way, Foo Fighters and Nine Inch Nails just had a drummer swap. True story.
Oh, man.
COVINO and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Yeah, how progressive of them.
Wow.
Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day. Here's a hint. Doesn't involve the Yankees or your crap-ass Mets. Schwarbs.
The Pickles? Oh, no.
No. Schwarbs brought the big bat.
Schwarbs.
Swung on, belted, high and deep, and it's another grand slam for Kyle Schwarber. And what a way to hit number 40 on the season. 11-3 Phillies.
Why don't you
Dude,
brag about it?
what a stroke, huh?
Yeah, he's so good, man. Kyle Schwarber, grand slam, second home run of the day. That's courtesy of the Phillies Radio Network. Our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires of how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Tire Rack, TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. I'm Covino, that is Rich. Danny G, super producing on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. And before we talk Bo Nix, Rich, let's take one last phone call about
your pickle?
The Portland Pickles.
I said they want to talk about Covino's pickle.
And the quote-unquote staged home run that's gone viral.
It's a really cool moment, no matter how you look at it. What's up, Chris?
What's up, fellas? So, apparently not only is he a fan, he's a intern for the Pickles, and he's the starting second baseman for Lois and Clark College.
Oh. Wow.
Still came up in a big moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that's why the team wouldn't give me his contact info?
Maybe because I mean, listen, it's just a good story. It worked out, right? It's like they took a funny chance. Like, oh, this kid could play. We'll have him be the fan of the day. I think it's like half staged, and they got lucky. Covino again. These viral moments happen, and a lot of times they just get lucky. And I think it was a great lucky moment for that organization.
And if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And Rich, before we talk NFL, I did find that promo interesting of two pros and a cup of Joe when they were talking about the Speedway Classic baseball game. They were trying to figure out the correlation between racing fans and baseball fans. Like, if you were to cross-examine sports, baseball fans are most similar to what other fans? Like, it's easy to say, like, maybe fighting and UFC have a great crossover of fans, like boxing and UFC.
Yeah.
Or boxing and soccer, because so many Hispanics so many Latin American countries love boxing, also love soccer. There's probably a lot of crossover fans.
In my mind, I'll give you one. Again,
what do you think's the closest to football?
These are all stereotypical, but I would say college football and NASCAR, to me, has a big crossover.
Yeah, I never really looked at it that way. Or how about wrestling in NASCAR? Yeah, I would think so.
It's
kind of interesting, because maybe I would say all four major sports have pretty good crossover. No, of fans.
Yeah, hot dog eating and. Oh wait, that's not one of the four majors you're talking about.
That's not one of the four major, but anyway, something to think about later.
So Bo Nix, we got to talk some NFL, and Bo Nix is getting an endorsement from his coach, like a good coach should, right? Show confidence in your young star, but it's not just like, yo, my young star is good. Bo Nix is being called the next big thing.
He's being called elite, and remember, you can't spell elite without Eli.
According to Sean Payton, head coach of the Denver Broncos, on Bo Nix, he's going to be one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the league the next 2 years. So he's saying this year and next year, you're going to see Bo Nix in that conversation with the, Lamars and the Joe Burrows and the Mahomes and the Josh Allens. He's pretty much saying, put Bo Nix right up there with them. And it did get me thinking that first of all, that's the confidence you want your coach having your quarterback. When a coach has his guy, and that seemed to be the scenario for Sean Payton, that Bo Nix was the guy he wanted, and that's sort of why it all makes sense there in Denver, right?
Yeah, he went out and knew that was his guy. Remember, he even didn't let everyone else in the organization know he was going to target him because he wanted to keep it private.
So Bo Nix is who Payton wanted. Got him. Now he's saying, I knew all along what everyone else is about to find out. I got one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. He feels that way about Bo Nix.
It's a great endorsement, like you said, Rich, but quote-unquote the next big thing isn't always a guarantee.
So I'm glad you said that. I want this conversation to go in a more fun direction. I want to talk about the not-so next big things. The athletes, the products, the bands, the infomercial items, things you remember that were going to be the next big thing that weren't. We'll take your feedback next. COVINO Rich talking more NFL and fun next.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say
It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson. COVINO loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
COVINO and Rich.
We're crushing it. Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
The Cleveland Browns will open up the preseason on Friday against the Carolina Panthers, and they'll be starting Shedeur Sanders in that contest under center. Browns have been dinged up in the quarterback room with Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel battling injuries. So Shedeur Sanders gets the start. Joe Flacco, the veteran, not expected to play in the game. The team also recently signed Tyler Huntley. Colts head coach Shane Steichen says Anthony Richardson Sr. will start their preseason opener Thursday against the Ravens. He'll play into the second quarter and then be replaced by Daniel Jones. Jones will start the team's second preseason game against the Packers. The Rams and running back Kyron Williams agreed to terms on a 3-year extension worth $33 million. $23 million of that is guaranteed. Free agent quarterback Teddy Bridgewater signing with the Buccaneers. Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison was suspended 3 games for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy following his DUI arrest in 2024. The NFL banned the use of ammonia inhalants and smelling salts. I'm Dan Byer.
All right, let's go. Hour 2 of the COVINO and Rich party.
Love this show. Makes me feel alive, Rich, because the rest of the day, everybody knows I'm like a walking zombie, sort of brain dead the rest of the day. But here on the show, laser focused, because I just came up with some great examples. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, we're asking you, what was the next big thing?
That never
really was. Yeah, because we're talking Bo Nix. I have an update on that. Plus, this hour, Showtime Mahomes trivia, giving away prizes. But first and first, mostly, enjoy your tacos, and let's be rocking out.
Tuesday. we are going to get to, like you said, some trivia, give away some prizes. We'll take your phone calls on the not-so next big thing. But I just read something that got me excited as a 49ers fan as we talk about football. Danny, this should get everyone a little scared in the NFC West. Maybe not everywhere, but Robert Saleh apparently is devising new defensive schemes, and people are saying Niners training camp, this guy is like a madman on a mission to prove like he's the best defensive mind in football.
That's what happens when you leave the Jets.
They're saying he's cooking up some stuff. They're saying they're seeing schemes, Dan Byer, they've never seen before. We're talking the Niners are going to revolutionize defensive football.
If I'm going to have to deal with this propaganda fest for the next 25 weeks, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
You said it, DB.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling you, Robert Saleh is going to do. You know how Bill Walsh 50 years ago invented the West Coast offense? Robert Saleh's got something cooking.
I know, like, Covino always starts the show, and he, like, cheers for everybody's favorite teams, even if they're not, if they're not playing his. Like, there's no way that I can even root for anything possibly good, remotely good happening to the 49ers this year.
Come on.
Wow.
Thanks, DB.
I love that. I do.
Thanks, DB. Well, Covino, I gave you the offer and you declined. If you're joining us now, I said, Covino, if you want out of this Mets-Yankees bet, I'll give you a $500 discount, $800 right now, and you said no.
You gave me the deal or no deal, and I'm saying no deal because you're only up by 3 games and there's like 50 games left. Why are you so overly confident in your crappy Mets? And I get it. It's not that I don't want out of it because I do. I think the Yankees suck. I just feel like you gave me a bad deal. That's really it. I'm not a sucker. So, yeah, I'm saying no deal for now. But if you have any thoughts, 877-99 on Fox. And if you want to chime in about Bo Nix, 877-99 on Fox.
Wait, hold on. Are you highly confident, at least, though, that the Yankees will find a way to turn around enough to make the postseason? Or do you think one of these teams like the Guardians or someone might sneak up?
Dude, head of the snake, cut it. I know Judge is back tonight. Booney needs to give some repercussions or consequences or something because they're playing like ass.
Dude,
like
if this were the 80s,
straight cheeks, bro.
Straight cheeks. If this were the 80s, Steinbrenner would have hired and fired Lou Piniella and Billy Martin 3 times already.
I like Boone. I'm never that guy that's like, fire them. Never. But it's like, enough's enough. I've never seen such amateur baseball and just mental errors and unbelievably terrible.
Not to harp on your Yankees, but they are making some little league plays where guys are getting, like Jazz Chisholm got doubled up on an infield pop-up the other day.
He had a decent excuse. That was like the tip of the iceberg. He said that he thought he was getting deked, like they were going to let the ball drop and try to go for the double play. But it's horrible, guys. I mean, teams lose, and then there's like really bad, heartbreaking losses. That's what the Yankees have been doing constantly. Now, back to the NFL.
Yep.
Sean Payton thinks that Bo Nix is going to be elite. Says he's going to be one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the league in the next 2 years. That's courtesy of Yahoo Sports, Charles Robinson. And I got another update too, Rich, in regards to Bo Nix. Spent time with Drew Brees this offseason. Broncos coach Sean Payton revealed that Nix visited Brees 4 or 5 days to learn from him and discuss the offensive scheme. Nix also works with Tom House, a well-known throwing coach, as part of his offseason development. So he's putting in the work, and that's why he believes in him. That's his guy, and he's hyping him up as any good coach should. Right?
Think about what we're talking about here. I don't think it's blind confidence. I don't think it's BS either, because if Bo Nix is the guy that Sean Payton wanted, Sean Payton, clearly you can see what he did with Drew Brees back in the day. He knew what he had with Brees. They won a Super Bowl. They were elite for years. In fact, many think they should have won more than one Super Bowl in New Orleans with that Saints team. If Sean Payton feels like he could replicate that and he sees what he saw in Brees and he's having him sort of mentor Bo Nix, that does bide well for Broncos fans. But here's the question. The question isn't, is Bo Nix going to be elite and great? The question is, when you say that someone's going to be the next big thing, what are other things that come to mind that were not quite the next big thing? Athletes, bands, products, things that you thought were going to be the next thing, and it just fizzled.
Can I rattle off just the first things that came to my brain? Because
please do.
I hit a little pocket of thought, and I just wrote all this stuff down.
Okay.
One of the first ones, speaking of the Yankees, Jabba Chamberlain, man. He was supposed to be the next big thing. He had his own set of rules. He changed the game. He was on a pitch count. Everyone babied him. And he really, he fizzled, dude. Remember him and Hughes and all those young guys that were coming up at the same time? Phil Hughes. Jabba Chamberlain was one of those dudes. And I'm not hating on him. I'm just stating. I really feel like he was that guy because so much was surrounded around that guy. Greg Oden. I just remember him being he's supposed to be the guy, and he wasn't. And Zion, I still feel is that guy.
Well, Zion was supposed to be a generational guy. He's still a guy that could take over a game, but when Zion was ripping through his shoe at Duke, and we were at ESPN at the time, I remember being in the newsroom, and everyone's like, this guy's he's going to be the next big thing.
The next big thing,
and,
that wasn't. That's really what we're
I remember
when
the draft happened, and everyone was hoping the Knicks got that pick because they've had fantasies about what if Zion played at the Garden, he's the next big guy. That's a great example.
Y2K. Remember the hype about Y2K?
We survived it, bud.
We survived. It was like all that hype was the next big thing and nothing. It fizzled. How about this as far as products? Mini discs. That was supposed to be the next big thing. Mini discs fizzled.
Covino,
yeah.
It's funny you would say that because I thought of one in the world of like technology and a couple sports ones.
I got a bunch of music ones,
When
too.
I think back to my baseball card collection.
I got a few future stars.
Danny G put it best. He goes, when there was a future star or a rookie that you believed in, you would have pages of your baseball card books because you would keep the doubles of that guy.
Yep.
You know who comes to mind for me? Your boy Greg Jeffries.
Dude, that was the one that we said. Greg
No
Jeffries,
way.
good
You
player.
all said that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No way.
I had an entire plastic sheet of his card.
Dude, we all have the same thought because he had so much like Lenny Dykstra promise, right? Like
And
he was the next guy.
There was another guy, and he wasn't on my team, but I remember stacking my book with Todd Van Poppel.
Yeah.
Todd Van Poppel. And you know what? Covino, a Yankee that hurt his hands in a bar brawl or something. Brian Taylor was a pitcher that apparently threw 100 miles an hour. I remember getting his Stadium Club card, and I'm like, I'm going to put this in a screw case.
Speaking of the Stadium Club card, I think we all think of Greg Jeffries, too, because that was sort of simultaneously when Score became a thing, the Score cards.
Future
so if you
stars.
had Greg Jeffries Future Stars, you got all those Score Greg Jeffries cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and again, that's not to hate. I'm saying it didn't match the hype, right? Bands. Coming up in radio, guys, I've worked in rock radio for most of my career, right? And, of course, Rich and I do a talk show, and we work in sports and everything else. Rich did pop, I did rock. In the world of rock, I can think of 3 bands that were supposed to be the next big thing. And they had good careers, but they weren't the next big thing. Remember the band Fastball?
Of course, The Way.
He made up their mind, and they started packing. Remember that song?
Of course I do.
I remember in all the meetings I'd sit in, everyone was raging about Fastball and how are they going to be the next big thing.
You know what else they
was
sang?
So different.
They also sang, am I out of my head? Am I out of my mind?
Anyone could see the road that they walked on was paved in gold. And I like those songs. And by the way, 1 hit, 2 hits, better than no hits. I'm just telling you, they were supposed to be the next big thing. I got 2 more. The Darkness. When The Darkness came out, it was like, oh, my God, they're bringing back this old school rock sound. It's like party rock. It's fun.
Wait, hold
it's
on.
different.
Could I with Sam hit those high notes that The Darkness hits?
Well, I'm a big Darkness fan. I saw them in concert. I would argue that, yes, they had that big hit. I believe in a thing called love.
Give me the high notes, though.
It's a great song.
They are still very popular, especially in Britain. They're like one of the bands that the British, I don't know, government or whatever will just call and be like, we need you to perform for the masses.
I'm not hearing a word you say until you give me some high pitch.
I believe in a thing called love.
No, not good.
I can't do it. It's going to break. I did it on
I
Two
saw
Pros
there
and a
was
Cup of Joe one time.
There was a big charity concert just recently. I forget which one it was, but they performed. There was a tribute show or something they performed.
Yes.
Who was it? I saw it too, Sam.
It was like a month or 2 ago.
Uberly talented, and they were fantastic. But after that
no,
song,
you're right.
It's
They
not
never,
like their catalog goes deep.
No, well, they have some really good albums. I'm still a huge Darkness fan, and I know they never exceeded
But guess
the...
what, Sam? You're the only huge Darkness fan that I know.
Well,
except in Britain, apparently.
Yes,
Great
in Britain,
yes.
which is where all our biggest affiliates are, Dan.
Stumped for the Darkness.
Okay, I got one more band, right? And again, stellar band, but they were marketed as the next Guns N' Roses, and I use this as an example all the time. And I actually like this band a lot. Buck Cherry was supposed to be the next Guns N' Roses. They have a great career, and they're super talented, and I love their hits. But they are far from Guns N' Roses, guys. I'm just telling you, they were supposed to be the next big thing and weren't. And, Rich, I want to call you out because you used to rock that shirt brand called Rule because you said it was going to be the next big thing.
That is true.
And it did not rule at all.
I'll give you one that I feel like, luckily, I don't think you are spot because you guys were my buddies at the time. Before streaming took over everything, when you had your wall of DVDs in your apartment and you felt so proud of it. You had all the DVDs in alphabetical order. And then we had a decision. I was like, oh, man, are we going to start doing Blu-rays or HD DVDs? And within a year, neither, because we started streaming things. But do you know anyone that invested big into, like, I got Blu-rays?
The way of the
They
future.
fizzled.
The way of the future.
It's the wave of the future.
Fizzled. So if Bo Nix is the next big thing, according to Sean Payton, and nobody's rooting against him.
Yeah.
We love greatness. We root for greatness. Sam roots for the darkness.
And greatness.
What
I'm still
are
with
some-
him. I'm still with him.
What? Hey, I like that song too, Sam. But what are some other things that were supposed to be the next big thing that ended up being not a thing? How about Palm Pilots? They were big for a minute and then like not at all.
I'm trying to think of it. There's a whole category that we're gonna mentally start unlocking some memories now of, like, technology and stuff.
I also do want to say that where Sam is on the darkness, it's a good place to be because not everybody they're not bandwagon. So if you love them as much as you did, you're through and through with them. And so I know you want to say that you want to stand up for them, yet I think it's a good place to be in a fan because then they're not going to be mainstream, which is what you a lot of times don't want with your favorite bands.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go, Sam.
They've posted videos back when I Believe in a Thing Called Love came out, and they were in front of like 100,000 people performing, and now they're doing much smaller venues.
Do you remember they pulled that 9-year-old kid on stage and he just like randomly
he started shredding?
He had a randomly high voice. It was amazing. It was crazy.
Are they cooler than me? Yes. So it's not a diss. I'm just saying they were supposed to be the next huge thing.
Danny, this happens a lot. I know you came up in hip-hop radio. There's a rapper I'm sure that the whole label vouches for, but the fans just don't attach.
There were so many corporate-made groups when hip-hop was hitting really big in the late 90s and early 2000s. A list that's so long, Rich, it would take up the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'm thinking along the lines of like 2000s pop groups, like back in the 80s. There was always someone that, like, COVINO, who is this? You said you had a CD back in the day. I remember there was a CD you said, and on it said Nirvana's favorite band.
Oh, it was the Meat Puppets. So, yeah, I remember you'd spend your hard-earned money on CDs, and I'm in there at Compact Disc World or Sam Goody, Coconuts, whatever, and I remember seeing the Meat Puppets. They had, like, one good song at the time called
Backwater.
Yes,
Backwater.
that's right.
But they also did Lake of Fire, which Nirvana covered much better.
Absolutely, but on the CD it said, they're my favorite effing band, Kurt Cobain. So I'm like, yo, I got to get them. Like, that's an endorsement. And it fizzled.
Their rendition of Lake of Fire, I do not like at all. I like the Nirvana one much more.
Rich,
so when you get that endorsement, though, Danny G, it just puts that much pressure on that moment, So that's why we have these conversations and thoughts, because they were so hyped at one point.
And all three of us came up playing music full time. I think back, Rich, to it had to have been like the year 2000 or right around there. But the record company for Little Bow Wow, I remember them just trying to sell me on them. And their main, I think it was like the vice president of their label at the time, he told me I was making a huge mistake not playing his record because he's going to be one of the most legendary MCs by the time his career is done.
Little Bow Wow, you say, huh? Let's go to the phone calls. I'll give you one more, and then we'll take the feedback because I have to mention it. It's a guy that was dating supermodels. There were chants in stadiums when Steven Strasberg would pitch. Harvey's better. Kids wore Batman masks to Citi Field.
That's right.
Matt Harvey went from must-watch pitching to accusations and lost, arm injuries. Everything went wrong for Matt Harvey. He got dumped by
the Dark Knight. I also think that's part of it. When you have a cool ass nickname and you don't live up to it, that also gives me the same feeling. Like Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. Like, you better be hitting bombs with nicknames like that. Or Raheem the Rocket Ismail. Like, you better be the Rocket.
It's Covino. It sucks because the Mets had a couple of these more recently, and he played for your Dodgers, Danny. He got a stint with the Angels. Noah Syndergaard, Thor, 6'6", long blonde hair. Had like the promise where people thought he was going to be the guy for years, no matter where he ended up, and it just sort of failed. That's a bummer when you see stories like that.
Who else comes to mind?
The way the future.
When you think of grand openings, grand closings, or actually probably never opened at all. They just never really took off the way you thought they would. The next big thing that wasn't in music, sports, entertainment, technology.
Let's say hi to Dave in Seattle. What's up, Dave?
I just want to drop one for you on some wrestling. Remember Lex Luger was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan.
Lex Luger was someone they put a lot of hype behind. Well, the Ultimate Warrior they thought would, take over for Hogan, and the fans just didn't seem to give a crap about the Ultimate Warrior, to be the main guy.
I got one for you, Rich. When we were kids, the Nintendo Power Glove was supposed to be the bee's knees next big thing in video gaming,
stunk.
and it never worked the right way. Yeah, it stunk, so it just never took off.
Robert, St. Louis, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, I got a couple music and a couple athletes. So athletes, remember Freddie Adu? I think he was like the youngest player ever drafted for MLS. Now, I know it's a fringe sport in the U.S., but he was like 16, 17 years old and on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Well, so yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know, but
no, he's absolutely correct. And just by him saying Freddie Adu made me think of Felipe Lopez, who was a top high school basketball product. Same thing. He ended up going to St. John's, and you thought, this is in the 1990s when Lopez came in, and you thought he was going to be the next big thing on the cover of SI.
I remember that
never happened.
I was living in New York at the time,
sure.
And I remember, of course, Felipe Lopez. Man, the kids are both in the NBA and have had stints already. But didn't you think we'd be more influenced by the Ball family? Remember when LeVar Ball just came out of nowhere and he was the most loudmouth dude talking about his kids? Now he's like missing. He's had his leg amputated, and his kids
Big Ball is chicken.
I would say they've done all right, but not to the level we thought. Right?
I thought LeVar Ball was going to be part of our daily conversations.
Lonzo obviously dealing with injury and things like that. But I'm with you, Rich. I thought for sure we'd be talking about them a lot more.
All right, let's say hi to Tim in Texas. Hey, Tim. Timmy.
So I don't know why the first thing that came up to my mind is Zion Williamson. It's just because he was so hyped up when he was in high school. I know he's still playing, so he might have a chance to still be the next big thing, and I hope he does. But so far, he's just not meeting expectations. What do you all think?
Not at all. I'm with you. Yeah, we mentioned that briefly, but I'm glad we're all on the same page there. And again, it's not to throw shade or sneak this or talk smack about anybody, because they had to have been that good or leave that much of an impression on somebody for us to even think that.
Well,
who else comes to mind for me,
hold
Rich?
on, just to Zion for a second, Covino.
Sure.
Just to be fair, he's a two-time NBA All-Star, and he just turned 25.
But he hasn't met the hype we expected.
And off the court stuff has not been in his favor. All I'm saying is that I don't know if we could officially say the story's done on Zion Williamson when the guy, again, 25, he is a two-time All-Star, right team, right cast. Who knows if, he could turn around. I know what you're saying, though. Out of college, he was supposed to be immediate impact.
But that'd be cool if he did turn it around. And as I was saying, you had to have some sort of credibility to even gain this reputation of the next big thing, right? Like Kevin Moss. If you guys remember in the 90s, that dude came out and he hit 21 home runs faster than anybody ever did it. 21 home runs in just not even half a season. And everyone's like, he's the next big thing, dude. He's the next first baseman, Yank. That guy was grand opening, grand close, and he was out of baseball in 3 years. So, and I'm exaggerating.
You
It was
know,
probably
just to show you that it doesn't always.
I'll look his stats up, but he was not the next big thing.
Just to show you that sometimes the hype does deliver, I would have to say you got to give props to Shohei Ohtani because he could have been that. Meaning,
yeah, absolutely.
Japanese player who pitches and hits. Like, it had all the ingredients to flop, but the fact that he delivered is unbelievable.
Oberman called it, remember?
Yeah. It's like there were people that thought, oh, this ain't going to work.
I apologize if I repeat anything you guys said, but that's what I actually admire Bryce Harper with that because
I love Bryce Harper.
Because
I'm with you, Dan. I remember the stories where he'd have the eye black, as a young college player and everything.
Yep, like he's lived up to it for what he was hyped to be. Now, granted, he brought some of the hype on himself, but
he was such a young kid, and he was supposed to be that next guy, and he ended up being that dude.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Did Bryce Harper coin the phrase "that's a clown question"? Am I correct if I say that?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Some reporter asked him a dumb question.
Dude, that's so old. That's right.
Yeah, it's a clown question. I'm gonna bring that back. Manny, what's up? El Paso.
Guys, how we doing, man? Okay, products at Fizzled. Clear Pepsi. They even went ahead and put Van Halen's right now in the commercial.
Crystal Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi was going to revolutionize the cola game, the cola wars.
And as far as sports athletes that lived up to the name, and I'm a big NASCAR fan and baseball fan, but Dale Earnhardt living up to the name Intimidator. Till the day he started, till his unfortunate last days, he was always wreaking havoc. But
yep, it's a good one. Dave in Oregon. What up, Dave?
Hey, fellas. How you doing? Great show, bud.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man. This is kind of off the wall, but I got to tell you. A little older, but water beds.
Dude, it's so funny that Covino and I reference an episode of Growing Pains that we all remember. Remember when Mike Seaver, Kirk Cameron made a hole in the waterbed? And I remember one of my friends who had, he was the rich kid that had his dad would be the one.
It was always our friend's older brother that had the waterbed.
I remember my friend Phil, he was the rich kid whose dad would be okay if you rented the Tyson pay-per-views, no problem. Really? Your dad said okay? His parents had a waterbed? I remember when his parents were at home, he's like, lay in it, try it out. I remember him like, whoa, this is what rich people do.
Same.
Water beds.
You notice so in the fine print of leases, they're like, you cannot have a water bed if you live here, because if it bursts, then it could ruin everything below it.
That's so funny.
I think it's more of a liability issue too.
And in the fine print, it says, and no the darkness t-shirts.
Oh, well, I can't live there then because I do have a darkness t-shirt.
Damn.
Oh, man. I'm calling your landlord right now.
Let me give you one more recently because we all have had one buddy. Now, I still believe in crypto enough. But do you remember when people, even credible people like our pal Gary V in the Logan Paul world, NFTs, people are buying NFTs and art, online art, video, digital art just seems as of now, that was one of those people lost millions on.
Without a doubt. That's a great one to end on, Rich. You never want to be the NFT of sports, the next big thing, and not make it.
All right, well, we'll take some more of your feedback. And coming up next, we are going to play Showtime Mahomes Trivia. If you want in, it's simple. 877-99 on Fox. You just got to win multiple choice questions about NFL football, and we'll do that next to give away a Covino Rich prize right here on Fox Sports Radio.